For workout number 1, the chipper relay for the RX athletes. They will complete 15 deadlifts, males at 205, females at 135, 5 muscle ups for males, 10 chest to bar for females, 10 box jump overs, 24 for males, 20 for females, 20 overhead squats, 95 pounds for males, 65 pounds for females, 10 box jump overs at 24 for males, 20 for females, 5 muscle ups for males, 10 chest to bar for females, and 15 deadlifts at 205 pounds for males and 135 pounds for females. Workout number 1, the chipper relay for our scaled athletes, is 15 deadlifts at 165 pounds for males, 115 pounds for females, 10 toes to bar, 10 box jump overs or step overs at 24 inches for males, 20 inches for females. On the start of 3, 2, 1, go, athlete will perform the chipper. Once they have completed the chipper, they will pass through the starting mat. Then athlete number 2 will start the chipper. If athlete number 2 jumps the gun before athlete number 1 passes the starting block, athlete number 1 will have to go back and perform a 5 deadlift penalty. After completing the 5 deadlift penalty from athlete number 1 will pass through the starting block. Then athlete 2 can begin the chipper. For the deadlift, a proper deadlift, your feet need to be stacked underneath your hips, hands are outside of the bar, your knees and hips need to be locked out in full extension, and your shoulders need to be back behind the bar. This would be considered a good rep. If your knees and hips are not extended, if your chest is not back behind the bar, or if you are bouncing the bar and elbows are not locked out, that would be considered a no rep. Sumo deadlifts will not be allowed. A good rep for the chest to bar, your feet must be off the floor and starting in a hang position. Elbows are in full extension and your chest must touch the bar. These would be considered a good rep. If your feet are not off of the ground, if your elbow is not in full extension, and if your chest does not fully touch the bar, that would be considered a no rep. A good rep for the muscle ups, your feet must be off the floor. Elbows must be locked out. You must pass through the rings before you lock out up at the top. This would be considered a good rep. If your feet are not hanging from the floor, if your elbows are not in full extension, if you do not go through the rings and then fully lock out at the top, that would be considered a no rep. A good rep for the overhead squats would be hips below parallel, and then you must reach full extension in the knees and hips with the bar overhead. You are allowed to squat snatch, power snatch, or clean and jerk it. These are all okay as long as the bar is over your head before you squat down. That would be considered a good rep. If you do not break parallel or upon standing up, if your knees and hips are not in full extension with the bar overhead, that would be considered a no rep. If you do not drop the bar from the hang position during your overhead squat, that athlete will have to perform 5 deadlifts before moving on to the next movement. For the toes to bar, feet must be off of the ground in the starting position, elbows in full lockout. Both feet must break the plane of the rig, and both toes must touch the bar at the same time for it to be considered a good rep. If you start your toes to bar with your feet on the ground or elbows not in full extension, and both feet don't break the plane of the rig, or both feet don't touch the rig at the same time, that would be considered a no rep. For the RX box jump overs, you are allowed to clear the box, you are allowed to jump on the box forward and step over, and you're also allowed to do lateral box jump overs. Those would all be considered a good rep. For the scaled athletes on the boxes, you are also allowed to step onto the box and then step over. For RX athletes on the box jump overs, if you step up or use your hands or bottom touches the box, those would be considered a no rep. For the scaled athletes on the boxes, if your hands touch or your fanny touches, that would be considered a no rep. Okay guys, so that was the standards video. If you saw anything, you have any further questions about, if I might have missed something, feel free to put it in the comment box below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. We look forward to having you guys, so come on out.